With us now, Republican Congressman Mike Rogers of Michigan. He is chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Congressman, do you believe that the president has successfully gotten the prime minister to wait and let sanctions do what they can? Because there is increasing evidence that the Iranian government is feeling the pressure of those sanctions.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I think there are two different red lines, one that President Obama has set out, and when the Israelis believe that they have to take action or they won't be able to take action against the Iranian nuclear program. And we have to remember, Charlie, all of the other things that are going on in Israel right now to understand, I think, where they're at. Egypt has become an unpredictable partner. They're very concerned. Hamas is now well armed thanks to Iran, more so than they've ever been before. Hezbollah up to 30,000 more accurate rockets aimed at Israel. So they're looking at all of this pressure and the fact that they believe if Iran goes nuclear, they believe Ahmadinejad when he said he'll use it against the Israelis. So they're looking at it through a very different prism, I think, than we are. And therefore, they have a lower red line of we have to take action than the United States might have.
So is that what you think was accomplished in this meeting between the president and the prime minister? That the prime minister wanted to make the point that we have a different red line, and we want you to know that if, in fact, that red line is passed, we will act, and we will act independently, and we will not necessarily notify you, and we will not even concur with you before we do, because it's our responsibility to our history.
I think that's right, and that was really the same message. I happened to be in Israel about 2 weeks ago, met with the prime minister, met with his octet, met the people who influenced that decision. They are very clear about the fact that they have to defend themselves. They're a little frustrated with the United States, not sure where they're going to be on this particular issue. And I think what you saw yesterday was just to try to reestablish that. Listen, we're going to defend ourselves. We are in a place where we believe our time is running out when it comes to our ability to impact the Iranian nuclear program. And of course, the IAEA inspectors being thrown out recently didn't help that cause. So their argument is, yes, sanctions are hard. Yes, it's having a bite. But they are still determined to get this nuclear umbrella by going nuclear.
The president is also making this point that Syria, Iran's ally, is exploding as well, and that may be something happening there. And this is no time to get distracted from the fact that Syria, a primary ally of Iran, is in trouble.
That's true, but they will argue, and the Israelis argue, and I think rightly so, be more aggressive in Syria. And I'm not talking about direct military action. There are other things that we can do to destabilize the Assad regime, bring it to a close quicker. That is a wound to Iran. But their argument is, remember, if the consequences of Iran going nuclear are so much bigger, Saudi Arabia says they'll get a nuclear weapon. Egypt says they'll get a nuclear weapon. And that, they believe, is really a threat to their existence.
Let me interrupt you, because there is this report coming out of Iran that Iran will grant UN inspectors access to a military complex where the UN nuclear agency suspects secret atomic work has been carried out. This is the Parchin installation. Doesn't that suggest that the sanctions are working and that perhaps they should be allowed to seek its place?
Well, now, listen, I believe in sanctions. I think we have two schools of thought here, where the Israelis are coming from, where the Iranians are coming from, I guess 3 schools of thought, and where the administration is. I think sanctions can work. I think we should draw them up now. There's other things that we can do that we're laying on the table. Draw it up, put as much pressure as we can. But remember, they denied that very site just a few weeks ago. We know that there was activity at that site, and now they're saying, well, you can come back with certain conditions. They don't want them to see everything at that particular site.
Congressman Rogers.
As an old FBI agent, Charlie, we used to call that a clue. I mean, something bad's going on there.
All right. Thank you so much, Congressman Rogers.
Hey, thanks, Charlie.